Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next installment of Champions of Eclypsia. We missed last week because we had some folks out and some obligations that we had to stick with, but we are back with part 3 of Champions of Eclypsia. I am your DM, Kurt, and also known as Covenant the Horrible Alchemist, and we are going to go around the horn, let you get reacquainted with everybody before we dive in today. So, going that way. Noir, how are you? How you doing today?
I am a living, breathing entity today. Hi, everybody. I'm Noir, playing Petra. Very excited to be back. We got the gain level, so I'm very eager to flex out some of my new abilities.
Outstanding. Next up, Al. How you doing today, Al? How's life?
Life is good. I am Al, also known as Al. That's right on Twitter. I'll be playing Flint, chromatic red dragonborn paladin, who has chosen his oath. What is it? Stay tuned.
Yeah. Jay, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay, also known as Neofit3 on the socials. Today, I am playing Vosroth, our coveted barbarian and de facto leader of this particular group, since he's the veteran that's been out there. So we'll see if anything happens today.
Right. And Joshua, how are you doing today, bud? Back from vacation?
Yes, back from vacation. Super excited to be here. I play Einor, and I super excited to go chasing after libraries and books because that's what we do here. And I'm Jay Rautek, or over on the Twitters, and Get to Penguin in Twitch.
Outstanding. And last but not least, Nikki, how you doing? How you doing, Ravanya? How you doing?
Hey, greetings and salutations. I am Ravenya, also known as the Squishy Bear on the Twitters. I'm doing pretty good. I still want to burn the city to the ground.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Maybe not. All right. I already introduced myself, but I wanted to be able to put out there today. I am so happy to and pleased to announce that we gained a new sponsor through our show, the people and wonderful friends over there at Idle Champions. So if you go into our chat and you type in !code, I believe, you'll get a code for, I believe it is a chest of some kind for Idle Champions. And as long as you're here and we're here, you guys, Electrum chest, I am being told. It is an Electrum chest. And so, yes, and that is yet again another reason to come back and hang out with us. Is every week we'll be throwing out codes for folks to get some redeemables there in Idle Champions. I'm so happy to have them supporting us in our endeavors here within the realm of Eclypsia. And without further ado, let's get stuck in, shall we? When last we left off, our champions had just left Outpost Rotwood. The outpost had been overrun by this entity that had taken over, as it were, the Blackwood Forest, and thus drove out those and killed those who didn't flee the outpost of Rotwood. Having tangled and dealt with the being and its, I guess we'll call them children, the group, specifically Petra, was able to secure the recon report that they needed about the city of Ferendel, a lost elven city that they are to be going to retrieve some items for the city of Whitebane. When last we left, they had just set up camp for the night, and were all kind of laying down and taking a breath for a moment after so much that they had just seen and dealt with. And so that's where we begin today. We begin with our characters asleep. Now, it's the middle of the night. It is, let's see here. We're going to randomly determine whose watch it is. We'll say it's, all right. It's Maud's watch. As she is looking over her fellow companions as they sleep. Not that she's hovering over them or anything along those lines. No, not at all. Petra, your sleep is not restful. You have a dream, a vision. You see a golden-haired knight, or what appears to be a knight, walking through the battlements of some great conflict. As he walks, you see that he is completely surrounded by the dead. He seems to be the only one alive. And with every step, it's as if the blood of the ground and the mourning sorrows of the dying around him begin to eke into him, and these vapor trails come into his body. His once golden crown turns a stark, stark white. His eyes, full of life, no longer. His armor, glistening silver and bright, is now black. And for a split second, it's almost as if you lock eyes with this creature as it turns around. You don't quite make out his face, for as he turns his head becomes helmeted, and all you see is fierce, glowing orange eyes that say, "This is the god's fault." And you wake up, and everybody wakes up. It is a new day, as we'll say, and the group is for the most part refreshed, benefiting from a long rest. So you can go ahead and click that lovely little button, and we begin anew. Moving forward, collecting your things. Petra last passing off the document to, I believe, if my notes are correct, to Rolf to review the mission and the report and what have you. The floor is yours. You're muted.
Of course, someone had to do it at least once
Right?
per session.
Every
So, hey, there we
single
go.
session,
All right. So Roth is like packing up. It's like 5 minutes. Everyone ready? We're going to move out.
Aye, sir.
Good.
Very well.
So what do the notes say about this library?
We need to keep vigilance. There's appears possibly some creature surrounding it. Then we might have some encounters before we get there. So the question is, are we going to be able to stealth in, or are we going full blaze? What's everyone's?
Flint looks at his armor. Probably full blaze.
An attempt at stealth would be my preference, because you can always go from stealth to full blaze from a tactical standpoint. At least I think I read that in a military book once.
You are correct, and it was a good military book. It was Colonel Sanders. No, I was almost going there, but no. Samson Delay was the one who wrote that book. Good man, good man. All right. If we're ready, we'll head out. But again, our key goal is the map in the library of the Grit Library. Recon a little bit, but in and out. Any questions? All right.
None that I can think of, Rolf.
Are you going to touch anything again? Just kidding there. Sorry, that was a low blow on that one. Sorry.
Right. So, so you gather up your things, you set about your horses, and you begin to ride. It's about another day and a day to a day's journey. Could be a little less depending upon how hard you ride the horses to get there. So it's up to you whether or not you wish to take that full day to get there or not.
I'm pushing.
You're gonna push it? Okay. All right then. If we're gonna push it, right? Then I need each person to make me an animal handling check.
16.
Okay.
19.
Ooh, all right.
24.
24. I think your horse may even like it. Einor, what'd you get?
12.
12. All right. And Flint?
14.
Okay. All right. Well, nobody failed. So you guys managed to shave off a bit of time by riding the horses just a little bit harder to be able to try and make it there as quickly as possible. Instead of arriving what would normally be constituted as the evening, you arrive more in the late afternoon time frame. As you begin to crest this small hill, you can see the jagged black rock behind this outline of a city. The jagged black rock of which you see is part of the Dragon Spine Mountains. You notice it is unmistakable as to what this is. It almost appears as if this particular chunk of the mountain is made out of pure obsidian. However, standing apart from that, even in this dull, dim lit world, this twilight time is something that once resembled something white. Now grayed due to time and unpopulated, no longer being populated, you see the ruins of the city of Farendel. The closer you get, the more you feel like you're being watched. And as you begin to ride in along the main road, you find that there are still the skeletal remains of those who may have fought here, died here, and defended here, all strewn along the sides of the roads, as if no one has come to tend to or take care of the bodies that were once here. Once you get towards the city, you will come upon the gates that are crumbling and decaying, no longer shut, and you can get into the city. I need Petra and Maud to make perception checks for me.
Nat 20 for 25 total.
Hey,
21.
21. Okay. As if almost syncing up, you both happen to notice the fading in and out amongst the city. Beings, specters, lost souls, given partial form, some not with partial form. But those of you who have tread so close to death know what they look like and how they move. And you see the faint glows of spirits moving around, moving about. They don't appear to be hostile. They don't appear to be even notice your existence. It's almost as if they're somewhat stuck on that perpetual loop. But you are definitely, without a doubt, not alone within this city.
I don't think any attempts at stealthing will be successful here. Looks as though this land belongs to the dead.
It's only the dead that bother us or attack us that I'm concerned about.
That's good.
Yeah, but as we saw, the living can be scary too.
That is true. About how far from the entrance to the library is it going to be?
From what your report tells you, the library is at the heart of the city. So to give you an idea of scope of this particular city, the city of Ferendale once was the home. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Let's let Bookman tell you a few things. How's that sound?
Love it. I start opening up the books and I'm sketching and I'm flipping through.
Don't think they're going to bother us at all.
Do you want the book roll was a 46%.
Okay.
The history without anything from the books is an 18.
Okay. All right. So not off the books, but just off your natural roll. The city of Ferendale, right, was once a city of prosperity and knowledge. It was said to hold the largest library in all of Aloth, said to be a center of power, commerce, knowledge, learning, and magics. It was the chief and greatest elven city within Aloth. At one point in time, it boasted a population of approximately 500,000, predominantly elven, with several other key ancestries that existed within this area as well. Its great claim to fame is the Grand Library of Aloth, the Grand Library of Ferendale, which is at the heart of the city. The city spreads approximately 2.5 miles from end to end. It is a large city. It is a tall city, but much of that is in ruin and dilapidated, fallen down, as you can tell that this city was at one point in time laid siege to. And it is very noticeable that it was laid siege to.
Does it look like we're going to have problems with horses from rubble or siege debris? Is it better to leave the horses out or take the horses in?
Probably best to leave the horses out. That I would give you that. I would give you guys that. By looking around and the way that you're going to have to take, you're going to end up having to move on foot would be the safest way to get there from this approximate point.
I make sure to call that out and to say, and look for a spot to tie up the horses on the edge of town.
Okay. All right. So you tie up the horses. Petra, I need you to give me another perception check, please.
Ooh. This one's not as good. 17.
17, still good. Working off your natural 20 from before. You notice something very specific. As you see these specters go about their repeats or whatnot, you notice one far off stops and looks at you. From what you can tell in the distance, this is the specter of what appears to be a child, a small elven child. It doesn't move to come towards you. It doesn't move and go about its normal repetition, its normal cycle. It just stops and stares as if it's looking into you.
I'm going to pull out my shield and my mace and walk over.
Okay. The rest of the group, you see Petra walking off, right? Maud, you no longer see the specters as you did when you first came in. Now your vision appears to be as that of normal. Ainur, Rolf, and Flint, you guys are tending to the horses, tying off the horses, making everything ready and good to go, pulling out what equipment and gear you need. And Petra walks off.
Petra.
Well,
Yes.
just gonna go follow.
Yeah, he's out like trying to be stealthy.
Is everything okay? What's going on?
Do you not see the child?
I'm guessing Flint doesn't see the child.
No.
No, there's something there.
And this is probably a matter best settled with me alone. And he continues to walk.
Yeah, Flynn will do that and he'll walk back. He'll look at Rolf and say, "Oh, he's going to take care of it."
We stick together because that's going to be bad.
Einor stays a good 10, 15 feet behind Petra, but continues to follow and starts like looking for a child.
As you close the distance for this child, of which only you appear to see, it speaks in that resonating echo sound, and you hear it, but as if you don't hear it through your ears. It's as if you hear it within your skull, within your soul. Are you here to put us on the path?
I'm here to return the cycle to its natural state.
But the gates are closed on the path. Will you open the gates?
If that'll return you to the rest that you're due, then yes.
And you hear a giggle that sounds like it's from 1,000 yards off. And then another giggle, and then another giggle. And as you kind of start to look around, trying to determine the source of this giggle, you look back, and the child's vanished.
Oh, that's unsettling. Just gonna put the hammer away, put the shield back up.
Okay. So you guys begin to make your way through the town?
Actually, I'm going to talk to our bookman for a second.
Okay.
Are you making friends of some sort, Petra?
Tell me what you know of the path and what could be blocking it.
A 21 religion check on the path.
Okay. The path is generally what's referred to by many of the Church of Passage. To be put on the path means that you are being put on the path to the afterlife. By doing so, generally members of the that's why members of the Church of Passage are around. Their whole deal is to usher those who are dying or freshly dead onto the path. It is generally believed that the Church of Passage is there. They respect death as not a good or bad entity.
It's a natural thing.
Yeah, it's just a very natural thing that occurs. However, in times of great peril or true feelings of unrest amongst those that have died, they remain, and they are forever searching to be put on the path. To exist as a ghost in this world is to literally exist in a form of hell.
Yeah. I think the part of the question he's leaning on the most is, what do you know about what can block the path?
If there's something of unrest, if there's something left undone that can block the path, with the Church of Passage, there needs to be rituals, or if there's something that is disturbing that's holding them here, that could block the natural passage.
And he just walks off.
Okay.
Is there something blocked? Like, and he comes after, he's like, is there something blocked? I heard what you said. You were talking to somebody. Is it related to the path? Is it the dead? And like he like, is it the dead? And he like holds up his little sketchbook, and he's the worst artist of all time. Like, only he can see what he's written, like what he's drawn in there. Is like, like we walked past and there's the dead that probably haven't been given passage or ceremony. Is that are you seeing something that we don't see? Something we can help with?
Yes, and often. And I believe that you will help me when the time comes. For now, let's follow in the footsteps of this one. And he looks at Roth. And I think we'll inadvertently fulfill what needs to be done here.
I'll keep my eyes open. I'll keep my eyes open. And I'll then just walk quietly back to Roth and still sketching out doodles and stick figures.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And at that, I'm sure someone catches an idea of like little stick figures walking on a very poorly drawn freaking landscape art, you know, the two lines and a road coming out from it or whatever. But with that particular interaction, you guys begin to make your way through the city. Rolf, I need you to make me a survival check.
All righty. Oh, really? 16.
Okay.
Only.
All right. As you begin to navigate your way through the city, it's not that you necessarily get lost or make a wrong turn at Albuquerque. It's more that you just are slow and methodical and moving and going. Making sure to hug those corners and keep a wary eye and look left and look right. As you begin to push through, you look around and you come across the Great Tower. From this tower, you see at the top what appears to be a giant quartz-looking shard standing up, hovering, but emitting no light. It's as if it's been drained of light. You recognize this as what would normally be a sunstone used to light that of an entire city. However, it is not lit on this one, but it still hovers as if it still has just enough residual magic left in it to keep it afloat. Okay. Maud and Flint, I need you both to give me quick perception checks.
That's going to be a natural 1, storyteller, for a total of 6.
Oh, you've got legs.
Yes, I have legs. Wow.
Flint got a dirty 20.
Okay. Flint, you notice as you are moving around through the city, these odd kind of oil-looking puddles that are around. They don't look like dirty water or anything along those lines, but a little more viscous, for lack of a better term. But you just see them here and there about or whatnot. And when, like, as you look at them moving along, they don't cast a reflection like many liquids would. It's as if it almost absorbs whatever light and image that would normally be reflected across it.
All right, as he sees this and he marches up to Rolf and he'll going to point to a couple of puddles. I think this is odd. It seems to be absorbing whatever touches it, whatever light does. It's like casting a reflection.
This is, everyone this is not natural, I don't think. And with these ruins, we don't know exactly what is around. So on guard, be prepared, just keep an eye on them and just kind of keep moving forward. With, of course, his weapon out.
Okay.
Flint's doing the same.
All right. Okay, so moving forward, you guys travel for about an hour. It takes roughly an hour or so to get there. And as you crest outside this broken archway into what appears as a giant grand courtyard. And at the end of that courtyard, you see a large domed building, easily 7, 8, 9 stories tall, roughly the size of 3 or 4 football fields put together. Got fountains that used to adorn the front no longer sprout the water they once did, but they are there nonetheless. Dead ivy climbs up the walls of this once great building of knowledge. You recognize it as the Great Library of Farendell.
Einar's eyes get huge as he just like gets this moment of like he's right here, and he with still focus on the books with his sketchbook out, like kind of takes it to his side and then starts to like quietly pitter patter like run up to the door to try to listen to it.
Okay. Picasso, I like it. So you guys notice Einor, right, with this sense of look of wonder in his eyes, and he very much takes off towards it.
Can Ralph grab him and pull him back?
Okay, for that, you're going to need to make a reflex save to try and grab Einor before he gets out of your grasp.
Dexterity saving throw, or
yeah, there we go. Yep, that'll work.
Would danger sense come into play? Would I have advantage on this or not?
Honestly, I don't think so.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm just out of curiosity.
Yeah, because Einor is in this. Yeah. This is what he lives for.
So 14, as Ralph is like, wait a minute, sticking together, running off, bad idea.
Okay. And like a reluctant toddler, Einor, I need you to make a dex save or make me an athletics check rather. Your target number is going to be Ralph's save.
No,
okay.
The answer is no.
So
like as he goes to go off, and as he does that, Rolf just grabs him by like the back, very much like the toddler described, just grabs him by the back, and like it takes Einor like half a second to realize that he's not actually moving forward. He's just like,
yeah,
okay.
Flint would have tried to follow Einor, but then as soon as he sees Rolf like grab him, he kind of stops. Oh, we're not running up there. Okay.
Mod's just kind of. It's like he doesn't have any survival skills at all.
Patience.
And that's just kind of whispered. Maybe Petra might hear it.
I
Look
think
back at-
Petra will respond to Maud. I don't think any of them do in this regards. Just kind of looking around for more spirits.
There's just definitely this kind of look and a little bit of a nod.
I look back at Roth and go, I apologize. And I'll take the book, bind it, let it flop loosely, and I will actually pull out, like with a flourish, he pulls out, and there's different sorts of like tools and picks and things between each of his hands. And he goes, if you watch my back, I'll check the path. And he starts to search the ground and things for traps, but going very slowly now instead of trying to run off this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna send a guidance his way.
All right.
Oh, sweet.
And Ralph is like, yes, we don't know what's here. Cautious.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. And then he's like the approval of like, okay, just we're all together now. We got to be watching.
So you guys, you all collectively make your way across the courtyard to the front door, and like, like a mosquito to the arm, Einor like is just right there to the wall, like, here we go. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand for some interesting lock picking.
Yep. Okay, so
Don't
that's
forget
a
to add
4. That's a 4 on the guidance die, which is wonderful. And he is proficient in thieves' tools and investigation, but that doesn't help with the nat 1 on the die.
Oh my!
No.
So that does give him a total of. You said sleight of hand, right?
Yep.
Okay. So 7, 11. Oh, that's still a 12.
Still a 12. You are correct. It is still a 12.
On a nat 1.
But
On
still
a nat 1. So, with that, Ainur is sitting there fiddling with it, going at it, right? Petra is willing Ainur to open the lock on this door. And Ainur's, I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. I definitely got it. Click. Click, 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 click. And you literally see 3 circular discs that were spread between the 2 doors all come together in a straight line. You're all pretty damn sure he just made it extra locked.
Might I have a try?
Of course. And he flips the tools together and puts them into the leather thieves' tools kit and offers it to Petra.
Petra actually goes into his gauntlets and pulls out a thieves' kit of his own.
All right. And I'll can I provide assistance from like, here's what I felt and here's where I felt tension and like trying to provide assistance?
You know what? I will 100%. You may assist in this for Petra. However, the way that I kind of envision it in my head is Ainur's yammering away and Petra's very much tuning him out and just staring off into space as he's trying to mess with this lock.
I'm actually also going to cast guidance on myself if I can.
All right, sure. Go ahead.
And the way this looks is he just puts his fingers on his eyes and they go black. And one of the dead that he has guided to peace just kind of whispers in his ear, when I was alive, this is how I do it. And he just follows the advice.
Okay.
Not much help there. Oh, wait, I get to roll at advantage though. Hey.
You do.
That's much better. That's a dirty 20 plus the 4 is 1 second. All right, that's the 4 on the die, so that's a 24.
All right. So the moons unalign and you hear the locks rescind. You hear clanking and mechanical whirls, right? And then the door pops, right? And dust falls from the door, slightly choking you just a little bit. And it, as the door goes to swing open, white, blue, black energy begins to emanate from the door, wisping around you as if in a giant a giant windstorm. And then suddenly you are transported. You're here, but the city is glowing. The city is aglow. Everything looks new, polished, furbished, but there's fires. Everywhere there are fires. You hear screams, people running, and you see this, what appears to be almost an army of undead, skeletal and zombie-like warriors marching around through and through. And as and at one point you stop, and it's almost as if the world whooshes past you, and you're into the center of the court, and you see what appears to be an elven lord on his knees before a black armored rider atop a chimera. Dismount. And he says, "Pray to your gods. If they answer your prayers, you will live. You see the elven lord begin to pray and pray and pray. And it's almost as if like the light begins to emanate around him, as if he is making as if he's making a connection to his gods. And as this dark night moves closer, the light fades with every step it takes towards him. Your prayers go unanswered, and your city will now burn. I am Garloth. And as he says that, he looks in your direction as if he's looking at you. And all will fall. And at that, he beheads the elven lord. And almost in a same flash, the winds pull, the smoke clears, the debris clears, and you're back to where you're at. Greycast. City in ruins. Fires extinguished. Skeletons adorn the walls and adorn the pavements and streets. Then you're back in front of the Grand Library.
After we take that in, Petra's just going to look at Einar and go, "You just turned it to the left one too many times. Good job."
I knew you were a man of many skills. I underestimated you in thinking that was not one of them. Well done. Well done.
Your assistance was required. Thank you. I'd like to step into the library, and I'm looking for something very particular. You know what I'm looking for.
I do know what you're looking for.
Oh, whatever I need to roll to see if I can spot anything of the description.
So you begin. You guys all, I assume you all enter. Yes.
Yeah, and Flint is gonna kind of break away and also look for something.
Okay.
Einor's gonna go look for the catalog of where everything's kept and start looking for inventory.
So allow me to first let you take in
the party.
Yeah, we're just gonna split the party right off the bat. All right, here we go. This library is in fact a grand library. And by such, I mean like to the level of, if you've ever been to the New York City Library or the Chicago City Library.
Oh, God.
It is massive. Okay. Wall to wall books, scrolls, parchments, tapestries, murals, everywhere around you. That smell of paper and musk, of paper aging, books aging, like berates your senses. It's that almost teary-eyed, like, oh, somebody needs a dust type sense when you enter here. No candles are lit. There is no lighting in here that you can find. Sconces, though, adorn the walls. And various candelabras are here and there, still with candles on them, just the lights snuffed out, as it were. Long rows of shelves upon shelves, hallways leading this way and that, stairs going up to the second story balcony that lines the walls and looks down into the central area. Now, what do you wish to do?
I'd like a quick retcon if I could. Then, Petra's gonna take out his focus, his holy symbol, get down on his knees and pray for 10 minutes.
Okay.
To ritual cast detect magic.
Very well. That will take 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We will cycle back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maud, what would you like to do?
I'm kind of following Ainor right now, as he seems to be going for a catalog book. My focus is on Census Records.
Okay. All right.
And you know why.
All right. Ainor.
Ainor is taking off in large libraries. There's usually some sort of at least classification of like where certain books are located or what. And so he's looking for that. Not like running at full speed, like he's still moving where he can watch and look around per the caution of Roth, but at the same time, he's going to leave people behind as he looks for this sort of categorization or
Flint.
So also in libraries, they'll occasionally have, among the shelves, and they'll sometimes have items and artifacts and on display. And so he's kind of looking in that direction, like there's anything, if there's among the shelves.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to that. Ralph, what are you doing?
So
other than watching all the kittens scatter?
Yeah, Rolf is sitting there watching it, and he's looking at as everyone starts going off, and he's like, and just talks to everyone at the same time, like, really? You all are leaving for your separate? You realize?
Flint goes, yes.
You realize if you go off by yourself, the high probability of you coming back is going to diminish. We should stick together. If you've got everyone seems to have their own agenda. We can try to accommodate everyone if we stick together.
A little quieter, please. I'm trying to focus.
Yeah, me too.
Einar spins around, almost probably like face to face with Maud.
I was gonna say that there's that. He spins around and Maud's right there. With the scarred up face, and it's like, hi.
I know you. Let me respond to him. You remind me of an old friend, but
there's a backpedal, and it's very much that.
You are. Eat him. Kill him. Kill him.
We wouldn't want to ruin your track record, would we, Rolf?
Exactly.
As a man who spent more time in libraries than anybody else, as well as reading through books, I can probably help you find anything you're looking for faster than finding it on your own. I advise that we follow the Colonel Sanders 11 herbs and spices tactics of sticking together to be more flavorful together, to be able to finish what we need.
Good sense there. The thing to remember is if you break off, I cannot guarantee your safety or if you're going to come back alive.
Flint's just going to keep ignoring him. He's just going to keep doing his thing.
And he will watch Flint walk away and with a little bit of I tried. And then there's that a little bit of guilt of this horror of it's happening again. It's happening again. And he's just going to go and follow Ainor and Maud to where they need to go.
I look at Petra, who's focusing, and ask not to be disturbed, and sees that they're not going to go anywhere. Flint, what are you looking for? I'll add it to the list of things to find.
Just some artifact the church asked me to find.
Okay. And continue to the card catalog, to the library listing.
Okay. All right. Okay. So cycling back around. We're gonna go with Petra, and then we're gonna hit up Flint, and then we're gonna hit up the non-split up people. All right. So Petra, after 10 minutes, you come back. You open your eyes and you look around. And you see glowing. But you see glowing here and there. A book, a scroll, a parchment, a box. Right? Like there's all these scattered things that are glowing throughout the library.
It's just gonna collect them.
Unless you brought a bag of holding somehow, you ain't gonna be able to collect all these things.
Oh, okay. Then the ones that are like small enough, he will put in his bag.
Okay. All right. Roll me a D12.
Okay. 12.
Shit. Okay. All right.
It's in the campaign thing. Y'all can see it. I'm not.
No, I believe it. No. Okay. So you're grabbing random scrolls and a handful of tomes and shoving them into your bag as you're going. As you're going and you're looking around and you're searching, you're noticeably looking, seeing if you can find that thing that you're looking for.
Right.
You haven't found it yet, but there's a particularly interesting hallway that you notice the far end. You can't quite make out what's there, but through the bars on this door, you can see a slightly brighter glow.
Is there a lock on these bars?
It's like think of it in the concept of like old school Dark Ages type jail cell, where it's like these giant oak doors that has a small porthole with bars on it, right? Looking in.
Is there any way to open this door that's obvious?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's got a handle, but it's got several sets of chains going across the front of it.
All right, then Papa's gonna get started unlocking these bad boys.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me sleight of hand on that one.
I'm gonna give myself a guidance. 16 on the sleight of hand with 4 on top, so a dirty 20.
Okay. All right. You start working at these locks. There's several of them, so it's going to take you a few to get all these locks done and open. All right. Shifting over to Flint. Flint, you're walking around and you're looking and going through. Give me a perception check, please.
That's a 17.
17. All right. So as you're moving along and you're going, you're looking about, but you're checking out all these tomes and everything along those lines. You're seeing them, this, that, or other. Most of it written in languages you can't quite make out. Then as you look, you're looking down one of the various columns of books because they've got items dispersed amongst this particular row. You see one particular tome that is emanating a slight glow, almost ember-like, like those last few glowing coals of a dying fire.
He's gonna reach out and pull out the tome.
Well, it's a ways down.
That's a ways down. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to lead you a bit farther away.
Yeah, he's gonna follow that glow.
Okay, follow that glow. All right. As you get farther down, you come to see this tome. It is a thick tome. It is bound. It is a leather-bound book with iron clasps at the top and the bottom. You pull it out, and its front and back is covered in an odd, scaly type leather. It feels slightly familiar.
He's gonna kind of look at his own like skin scales and kind of compare a little bit.
It is very similar. The writing across the front of the book looks strange to you at first. I need you to make me a wisdom save.
Okay. 15.
Okay. You hear dissonant whispers in your ears, speaking in languages you didn't know and have never heard before, but at the same time sound very, very familiar. Almost as if a mother's voice calling to its child.
He smiles for a moment. It's like, it's interesting. He's going to open the book and just kind of look at the pages.
As you open the book, at first, the words don't make sense. The writing is a writing you've never seen before. But the longer you stare at it, the more it makes sense, as if the letters move and rearrange into a way that you can read and understand. And you make out one phrase: wherever our blood is spilt, our children shall be born. That's all that you were able to make out at this particular point in time. However, you feel a very strong urge to keep this book on you.
Oh, he's keeping that book.
Yes. And when I say a strong urge, as in the feeling of being separated from this book would probably cause you a great deal of mental anguish. Einar, what are you doing?
Going to the card catalog with Maud and Roth following, apparently.
Okay. So Rolf is kind of, he's following but looking around. Maud is sauntering her way over to you, but keeping at a distance, not trying to get too close, probably slightly pulling her hat down just a touch. What are you looking for, Einar?
So once I get to the card catalog, I'm going to start looking through it for if there's anything that is on historical weapons or artifacts of religious nature, specifically that that might be tied to like missing artifacts. But knowing that missing artifacts is very broad, I'm just looking, or very vague, sorry, not broad. I'm looking for like historical artifacts, like section. And where those books are kept.
Okay.
And as I'm flipping through, I will go, so Roth, Maud, do y'all have anything you want me to help find and locate which section stuff is in?
Any maps? Looking for our primary mission is finding the old realm maps. So if there's a map room around, you can tell.
Of course. Of course, that's what I was looking for first. I just meant if there's anything else. He stops looking for the artifacts and goes to looking for maps instead.
Census Records. I want to know who lived in this city.
Okay. And I will find, I'll look for both of those in the catalog.
Okay.
First.
All right. Give me a quick investigation check, please.
Yes. 11 plus 5, 16.
16. Okay.
16.
You're going through and you find, census records are literally down the hall, third door on the right, second shelf from the back. Kind of, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what your little thing tells you. That's where it's at.
Okay. And is there a map room or a case of
There
maps?
is. You find basically a reference to the cartography department, which is kept in the observatory.
Which I'm assuming is the top floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. And then I will look for artifacts as a section. Like, is there a section that talks about artifacts?
Not in the sense.
Okay.
Keep in mind, right? Like the artifact section isn't really going to be like that. If there is an artifact pertaining to a particular group of people, that artifact is probably going to be kept in that section of the library. Like things with like things more so than, alphabetized.
Yeah. No magic item compendium.
No, I don't think that there's not really like a, all the dwarven forged items of gold, in, cubicle 7B. Like, no, it's not gonna work like that one.
Okay. Specifically the letter that I found that led to me being on this mission, looking for items, looking for books in that context of things that are missing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another investigation check.
Okay. Oh, nat 20 for a total 25.
Okay. So you find a handful of various tomes. They're like, we're missing this one and this one and this one from volumes, blah, 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 and blah, for this series and this series and this series. However, you're not necessarily finding anything specific, with the exception of one book that catches your interest. Bloodlines and clan names of the great dwarves of the Iron Mountains.
Okay. I'll make note of that one and look at Roth and Maud and say all of the maps are up on the observatory for census. It's down the hall, third door on the left, second from the top shelf. Should be easy to find. I think if you're looking for census records, we may want to hit that. We may want to go after that first and then make our way up to the observatory.
I was about to ask if we could. I'm not an idiot.
Agreed.
At the mention of her saying idiot, Rolf and Einor, you both begin to feel very cold, as if the temperature in the immediate vicinity dropped by about 20 degrees.
Knowing my undead familiarity, can I make a knowledge check to see if this is an effect or a presence or something?
Sure.
As a favorite enemy,
favorite enemy will not apply.
Okay, so we're gonna get straight int check, or
yeah,
like, all right, yeah, that's gonna be a 10.
Okay. Wow, it must be drafty in here.
So I'm just
you start looking for like an open window or something like that, trying to ascertain what it is that you're feeling right now. Maud, what do you do?
I'm walking towards the census room. Well, that is.
As Maud walks away, the temperature begins to rise. You guys notice the farther the distance away from Maud that you are.
Ainor, did you breeze cold, right?
Oh yeah, just just kind of a brief draft or something. Definitely, and like he holds up his arm and has chill bumps, and it's just like no, it must just be a draft or a breeze coming through. It's feeling okay now.
Okay. Anything? I'm gonna go with Maud. If there's anything, yell.
I'm gonna follow. The observatory is where we need to go.
All right.
Is the book that is the Bloodlines and Clan Names, is that in the area of where we're going? Or no, that's one of the missing books, right?
That's one of the books that you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's one of the books you need to go find.
As I'm walking with Rolf after Maud, I say, there is a book that I am looking for, that I have the section of where it is. If we get the chance after we get the maps, I want to grab that.
As you say that, it's there it is right there kind of thing.
I grab it.
As in this is where I need to turn off and go down this aisle of books.
How far is it? Because I don't want to deviate. Like, are we talking like one or two shelves in? Or are we talking like the aisle? I mean, huge library, right? Are we talking like it's this section? Of course, it's that section.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with Rolf and go, before we go to the observatory, let's come back here for mine.
As you are looking down that direction, though, you do see Flint kind of standing there, staring, kind of slack-jawed, but not entirely. He's very intently reading what's in front of him.
Flint, did you find what you're looking for? Come with us.
Hang on, Flint. I need you to make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
To see whether or not you even notice anybody's talking to you.
18.
Oh, well, I guess you notice.
He's like, yeah. He's like, not quite, but I think he got, not literally, but in a more metaphorical sense, yes, I think I found what I was looking for.
Okay.
Long-term booking, if you will.
I'm imagining they're like yelling at each other across the way. And I'm like, shh, we don't know what's here.
And then as he starts,
the librarian.
As he starts walking back, he's gonna put the book away.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not trying to be sneaky about it too, but he's also not going to keep it out. So he's
gotcha.
Put the book away and just, we'll talk later, Mom. That just comes out as he says it. We'll talk later, Mom. And
in the back of your mind, you hear, "We will, my child."
So he's like, yeah. And he looks at Ralph. He's like, I survived.
Yeah, but if we survive the next hour after that yelling down the hall of communications, I'll be impressed.
So as you continue, as you guys kind of somewhat group up, shifting back over to Petra, you get the locks undone, the chains fall, and the door swings open ever so slightly.
I'm just gonna open it up, close it quietly behind me, and walk towards the book. I'm a little suspicious, so I'd like to check for traps if I could.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, please.
Ooh, the roll I'm not good at. Yeah, let's just do it. I'm not gonna cast guidance, even though I probably should. Oh yeah, that's right. My investigation is a -1, and I rolled a nat 1, so I got a roll of 0. So there's no traps here.
All right. Not a trap. So you go, you're like, nah, nothing here. And you go and you reach out for the book. And as you do, almost the moment your finger touches the opened page, right? This wah 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 type noise emanates, and is as if the very reality around you like begins to ripple and go out from where you are at. And you hear a voice behind you. I wouldn't touch that particular book.
Any particular reason why?
It was left here for a reason.
And will you care to indulge in what that reason is?
Because it will only be recovered by those who are truly worthy. And at that, you hear the metal clanking of it sounding like armor against armor as this figure begins to slowly emerge into your periphery vision. Gaunt features, stark white hair, tarnished silver armor with elvish writing along the edges of each piece of metal. It is an old, elderly, elven being carrying what amounts to a great sword upon its back and a livery upon its chest. Why are you here, Walker of the Path?
Because there's a blasphemous item in the world that needs to be destroyed so that others don't avoid the rest that they've so rightly earned. I'm looking at him to see if he is any sort of undead.
Nope.
Okay.
He's not.
Just
like he is that thing that people never see, an elderly elf. But he's still basically walking in full plate armor. The livery upon his chest is that of a sunburst with an open book laid upon it and a sword bisecting the center of it.
Can I do either a history or a religion check, both of which I'm equal? Oh, well, no, I'm actually better at history. To see if I know what that symbol is.
Dealer's choice.
History.
All right.
All right, 14.
All right. From your teachings and learnings thus far, you recognize that symbol almost immediately. It is a divine symbol. It is the symbol of Shira, the elven goddess of knowledge, life, and protection. A long thought to be dead god, one that has not been revered or worshipped in your time.
Petra is going to put away his mace and shield, kind of as a show of respect. And I'm here to find a book that has instructions or directions towards a very powerful, very blasphemous item. I'm here to protect the cycle, to protect the path. I recognize that symbol. You protect knowledge, you protect life. See my devotion in your own and help me.
What you seek, you will not find in this book. But understand something. Everything exists for a reason, even if that reason is not known to you. But
okay.
I will not in any way impede your quest for knowledge. And it's as if he gestures at a wall, right? And like something triggers off of that wall. And a recess slides back. You hear a click and a dusting. And then it moves aside. And you see a tome sitting inside there. The knowledge of destruction you seek is there.
He's going to take a step closer to this elf and thank you. My name is Petra.
He smiles and slightly bows as much as he can. Ah, I see the people of man have not yet lost their manners. Tauren Feywind, last paladin of Shira, sole protector of the city of Ferendel.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
I hope it stays that way.
I have no intentions on finding myself on the wrong end of your temper or your blade.
He looks past you. Yet one with evil walks amongst you.
She is necessary for the time being.
He looks at you and raises an eyebrow. She. And then we cut back over to Ainur, Maud, and Rolf as you are making your way towards the Census Records. Making your way. Make it. All right, so you find yourself in basically what amounts as the government, the government records, the hall of records portion for the city. The door has been kicked in, and the room set ablaze. There's a lot of fire damage in here. Not everything has been destroyed, but there is extensive fire damage. What would you like to do?
I start doing a thorough look for what is recoverable, regardless of value, and then putting it into the middle of the room for Maud or Roth to peruse.
Okay. You start. Give me a quick. We'll say, best thing I can think of is survival check. We'll say we'll use survival because you're kind of foraging around through the rubble to find what you can find.
Okay. 7.
All right. You find 7 tomes, various dates, none in sequential order, that you have found amongst the debris. Maud, what would you like to do?
Maud is specifically trying to look for any, census records, population numbers, anything where they might have tracked births and names.
Okay. You find several census record type books. They're not so much books as they are large scrolls. You're not 100% this is what you're wanting, but it may be the closest thing that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you do?
She's going to start opening them and looking through them.
Okay. All right. Give me exactly what it is you wish to find.
I'm trying to find out who this person that's with me
Okay.
is.
All right. As you open it up and start looking, you just hear, "No,
No, 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 no. Knowing my name will not give you power over me. But keep looking. I do applaud your efforts. Oh, I guess you're not alone.
Rolf, what are you doing?
Rolf is standing in the doorway, watching this, watching the hallway, and listening for any major danger, things of that nature. Just and what everything, just perception, just taking in everything, and just making sure when shit hits the fan.
Okay, cool. All right. Flint, what are you doing?
Flint kind of came with them too. He's in the room with them as well, and he's just kind of watching Einor and seeing if he can help in any way. It's like, oh yeah, help him with whatever he's looking for.
Okay. All right. So, Maud, give me an investigation check.
All right. That is an 8.
You're never gonna figure out who I am. Just resign yourself to me, and that's the plan.
That's not how this works. That's not how this works.
That you guys literally hear Maud talking to herself.
I don't know what she's talking about, but I'm sure it's really fun.
Everybody's doing sing song now. I love it.
And she goes to take a handful of these documents, whatever she can, and she is shoving them in her bag because this is not a place to waste the time. It's kind of like she noticed and looked and saw the weird looks, and it's like, oh, I said that out loud. That's what's going on in her head. And yeah, she's taking what she can.
Maud, do you have a specific date that you're looking for? You're just looking for census information, right? And so like the 7 tomes that I found, like I'm looking through, like, do they have anything that could be related to census or the years that she's looking for? That's what I'm trying to resolve for.
Nothing so specific as that, just names and ages, maybe deaths.
That's a lot of information to churn through. Do the tomes have names? Is it
they do
data, or is
the
it
tomes do?
records?
They have names. Okay. They have basically birth. They're basically birth dates, the date that they were born, and their date that they were dead. They died, for lack of a better term.
Okay. Einor just is starting to realize how many books that we're probably going to take out of here. And he pulls out the 50, like his rope. And he starts he ties he gives a good probably 5 foot of length. And then he ties a knot, and then he puts one book against the knot, and then he loops it around. So horizontally and vertically it's there. And then he just does that for these 7 books, and he's just making a big old book chain, I guess, out of his rope.
It's fine. It's not of importance. It doesn't matter to the mission.
But it matters to you.
Yeah, just because it doesn't fit the mission doesn't mean it's not important.
We can look through these later. We don't have to look through them now. We can look through them later when the mission is done.
Exactly. When everyone else has gotten their own agendas done and no one's actually focused on the real matter at hand. Rolf, let's go to the observatory.
We're still missing
great.
Petra.
Flint'll just leave. I'll go find him.
You're not going by yourself this time.
No, let's go together.
Okay. So
on the way, Arno, you have a book or something you need to pick up, right?
Yeah, from the area that Flint was in, just a little past that, I need to grab a book.
All right, we'll grab your book, grab Petra, and then we'll head up.
As as Flint goes to go find Petra, you're walking with Tauren, and you're walking down the hall into the main lobby area, we'll call it, right?
Oh, I was gonna head into that recess because I think that's where my thingamajig is.
Oh yes, sorry, I just assumed you grabbed it.
Oh, okay. In that case, then yeah, I just wanted to make sure that he has it.
Yeah, he has it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Then yeah, we're just walking each other.
Yeah. He's just like, now understand that everything has its place, and the quest for knowledge is important, but don't let it consume you to the point that it prevents you from doing what truly needs to be done.
My only charge is to protect the most basic and instinctual part of all creation. All things live, and so all things must die.
So then, have I found a companion? For this city is full of those. And then you hear that echoing children laughter in the back of your head that need to be brought to the path. But it is beyond my abilities, but not yours.
I came upon one as soon as I entered your city. It is my charge, my duty, my responsibility to see that they find their way home. If this would make us allies, then so shall it be.
Then by all means, put them to rest.
I will.
And at that, Flint and Einor, I guess you two came together to go get Petra, right?
Yeah. Grabbing my book on the way.
Okay. You guys find Petra talking to a tall, fully armored figure. Then all you catch is that slight glint of tarnished armor and white hair. And as you start to make your way towards it, the creature, as that last sentence ends, Petra, right?
Mm-hmm.
This person, Tauren,
mm-hmm.
drops, jumps, and shoots up into the air, landing on one of the highest balconies that you can see. Almost like Superman. Just
instinctually, I pull out my mace and shield.
okay. Then Einor and Flint are standing there.
Are you making friends again, Petra?
We saw him jump. We saw the elven elder. We saw him jump into the air, I'm assuming.
But we couldn't see the symbol, right? To add to that.
Because like Flint's staring out, that's why he's like, what was that?
Yeah. But were we able to see the symbol, and did we see him jump?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You saw him jump. You saw this being jump, but past the white hair and tarnished armor, you couldn't make anything else out.
I'm upon a rather intriguing individual here who has cause to believe that I travel with one whose intentions are less than palatable. And I'm kind of like looking over each one.
Well, right now you just have Einor and Flint with you.
I'm just looking at these. I'm just looking at these two like.
I mean, I wouldn't do anything. I suppose that's what what someone would usually say, but
I hate to do this, but I need an insight check.
All right. Give an insight check.
The hackles are raised. Oh, Jesus. Just a 12. And that's what I have expertise in. God.
You sense no ulterior motive in either Flint or Einor.
I'm here to gather knowledge and to prove some people wrong.
Yeah, I was here to look for something, but I found something, but it wasn't what I was looking for. But so
just staring at the both of them, he's just going to say, Tauren, I intend to keep my word. If you choose to continue to walk with me, you're welcome. If the presence of my companions brings you unease, I understand. But no matter, the work will be done. He's just gonna walk.
All right.
Is this another ghost friend?
I mean, we can leave. If we can like walk away if you want him to come back.
I think they see everything that they need to see from wherever they choose to be.
And Flynn will start looking around. Okay. Okay. And he'll.
I am going to lock that door back up as well.
Okay. All right. You guys turn to see this large tome resting on a dais, right? And you see Petra very meticulously closing the door behind them and locking the door shut with several chains and several padlocks.
So, what's that? Very much like your insight tells you, like, now that you've locked it up, all of a sudden Einor really cares. Like, he didn't care before, but now he does.
He's not even going to like look back. He's just still like putting the locks together. He's just going to say, apparently it is a book that will do me no good and one that exists only for someone that is worthy. Click.
I stare at the lock, remembering the last lock that bested me, and go, all right. And just like turn and start slowly walking back to Roth.
Okay. All right. So you guys link back up with Maud and Roth. What do you do?
You're alive. That's good. Are you ready? Have you found everything you're looking for?
Yes.
Any other side gatherings, quests, item retrieval, coffees and teas you need to have?
We just get the main job done.
I didn't know that was an option, but no, everything else can wait. Everything else can wait.
All right. Let's make our way up to the observatory. We need to get the maps and anything else up there. Were you good on that?
Well, before we advance, I would like to ask a question.
Okay.
What's everyone's motivation for being here?
To complete the mission.
And what is your mission?
To get the maps.
Why?
Because that's what we were given, the mission, to get the maps for the old city, or for our city.
Go ahead.
Oh, Flynn actually steps forward and said, I'm supposed to, the Church of Life wanted me to find something, like a rod or something. He just says that. It's like, they wanted me to find it.
To what end?
They want to destroy it. Or no, I'm sorry. Al the player had a brain fart. the Church of Life probably got mixed up. The Church of Life doesn't want to destroy it. They want me to bring it back for something. But they said that the Church of Passage wanted to destroy it too. And it kind of sinks in. You kind of realize, oh,
Interesting. And you? He's looking at Maud.
They let me out. I'm finally free.
Why is the question.
Why wouldn't you stay home?
Engines.
Don't understand.
Then enlighten us.
I shouldn't have to enlighten you or you looking at Flint.
I didn't press the matter, but okay. I was just for me, I was just being honest. But if you don't want to tell us, you don't have to tell me.
I asked because I've met an interesting individual who seems to believe that one amongst our number is here for nefarious deeds. Evil.
And you automatically assume me.
I did.
You were the last that he asked. He started with myself and Flint earlier and then Roth. So
okay, fair is
for
fair.
what that's worth.
It's got my heckles up a little bit.
Maud is not wrong. When he informed me of the evil amongst my party, I made the assumption that it was you. And it was him that clarified that it was not.
But the truth is, your fair city finally released me from chains that I've been in for 7 years.
That's where you've been.
I suppose I say all that to say this. We should remain on guard from enemies within and outside. Best of luck on everyone's missions.
Endeavors.
Thank you. My mission is to not die. I was sent here to die for knowing things and discovering things. And my goal is to not do so.
And Flint just if it helps, the real, my true motivation, I just want to find my mom. She was a paladin like me, and she left me at the doorsteps of some old friends of her. But, and so that's why I became a paladin. The only place in the city to train was the Church of Life. So a means to an end, but I don't, I figured getting the training and finding their rod at the very least would, help me get a start. But the more I'm out here, the more I realize that there's more to life than what was in those walls.
Very subtly, with the language of the Church of Passage, the hand signals, he's just going to say, not the only place, just the easiest to find. And I'm just going to do a quick glimpse to see if anybody is catching that.
You're looking for the other Fate Weaver. Does the other Fate Weaver wish to reveal their presence? Going once, going twice? Okay.
I'm just gonna see. Is there any way if I could try and catch if they slipped up a little bit, looking like? Oh, I know what that is.
Honestly, no.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't even know there was another Fate Weaver, but now the hunt is on.
This is all very touching and heartwarming, and maybe this should be kept to a nice campfire with maybe some warm cocoa. Right now, though, in this place, I don't think we're safe.
We're not. But there's one thing, if we're sharing, Petra, what is your motivation? Since you are the only one that is not shared, to be on an equal playing field. What is your mission?
My mission is simple. To assist in I am to assist the Reclamation Regiment in locating a lost home.
Did you find that tome, or do you hope to find it here?
I'm still in search, as are all of us, it seems.
Grab the after we take care of the maps on the way out, perhaps I can help go through the catalog to see where other places may be.
I did, however, and I'm gonna take out like 2 of the other books that I grabbed. I did, however, find books of interest that I thought may have been the tome until I was shown that they were not. And I'm just gonna hand them in there.
Okay. Yeah, I take them and I pull this like pseudo string bag of chain of books, and I just start tying more books onto there. The book that I grabbed is in my backpack, but now I have 9 books just starting to wrap around his back and his backpack.
Okay.
Everyone's touching everything. Ain't that interesting?
All right. So to the observatory, maybe touching less things, as Einor looks over at Maud and like gets this like kind of guilty look on his face. It's like, maybe touching less things? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Sounds like I only touched one thing.
I mean, after all, it was just one thing after. And she kind of looks over at Rolf. It was just one thing that was suggested for me to touch. And then she continues.
And Rolf just gets this look of like, and you hear a little growl, like,
Don't you growl at me.
Not you. He's just growling at himself because you can tell she just hit that spike into that little nerve.
As you guys make your way up to the top to the observatory, you enter a room with a large telescope cutting through the ceiling, looking into a starless sky. As you begin to look and to the left, look to the right, you see maps written everywhere. Various levels of star maps. You see continental maps. You see realm maps. Make an investigation check for all those who are going to look.
Okay. I am going to throw Bardic Inspiration for investigating onto one of the people. Rolling a D4. See who it is.
Looks like Rolf needs it.
Yep, Rolf. You get a D6 or D6.
You get a D6 and you get a D6.
What is this? An elvish copy of the Buccaneer? What? Why is there a romance novel up here? Tosses it. I rolled a 1.
A love of tusks.
I rolled, and that nat 20 was just rolling on it and decided to roll back to a 9. So now I have an 11.
All right, 11.
Yeah.
So somebody found a copy of Tusk Love. Somebody found their feet. What else we got? What'd you get, Petra?
I'm not searching for anything while they're all scattering and searching. Yeah. I would like to confirm that I have what I came here for.
You do.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Got a 9
and a 14, and I'm trying to keep as much as I'm finding, and probably hitting strength limits of not being able to carry books anymore.
Yeah, you're getting pretty. All right. So, what did you get, Einor?
14.
14. Okay, 14 is the magic number. All right, so you on the wall, you see a map, right? And it literally says Aloth. Now, out of everybody here, you are probably the only one that actually knows that that is the name of your continent that you are on. Now, as you are looking, you see this large map. And when I say large, I mean it's easily 6 feet across by 4 feet tall, large map. You see various drawings and notes. You see various forms of images drawn. You even spot the city of Whitebane on the map. You see where the city of Farendel is at. You see an area described as the Black Wood. And then you start to see other towns, other names, other cities. You see where you are sitting along the Dragon Spine Mountains. And then you see an outline of the continent. And then you see names like the Green Sea, the Titanic Ocean. And for the first time, you see something very strange. Another shoreline drawn on the map. The Western Lands. But with that, we are going to wrap up today as we have recovered our map and we have made it thus far into the story. I hope everybody's had a great time. I want to make sure everybody gets ample opportunity to give their shout outs, their call outs, talk to everybody and everything. And I want to hear what folks think. So starting with Maud.
Oh,
let's go with you.
First up, this is an amazing game. Kurt likes to say he's the okayest DM. He's amazing.
I am the okayest DM.
But I think the most recent thing I've got going on is Champions of Eclypsia right now. And then in about 2 months' time, I'll be running my Werewolf, the 20th Anniversary Edition Phoenix Call Season 2. It's going to be fun. It'll be great. It's going to be crazy. Tuesdays. If you like the wonderful art that we have for our characters' faces and other things that we have not seen yet, that's all done by Brian F. and Patterson, also known as D20 Monkey. I believe the commissions are closed, but he has a 35% off sale going on his t-shirts, which is done through TeePublic. It's just TeePublic, D20 Monkey.
Cool,
and
thanks.
They're amazingly nerdy shirts. There is a Favored Enemy, the Patriarchy shirt, which is really great. I really
all right
like that.
then.
There's some old school ones too, but yeah.
All right, well, go check that out, folks.
Yeah.
All right, Joshua, how you doing, bud? What you thinking? What's going through your mind right now?
Doing great. Loving. I feel like we could just do like 3 or 4 sessions in the library just to drive Roth mad. Like I'm digging it. I'm loving it. I'm loving the theme. I'm loving the overall just like everything about how this is going. Looking forward to more. Yeah, the only shout outs that I have is for myself. Follow me out on Twitter and JRailTech. Or you can watch me play Phasmophobia and get hunted by Ghost. Apparently, we like to die a lot based upon last night's games. So if you like Phasmophobia or just like laughing at people who do really stupid things sometimes, join me over on Get2 Penguin here on Twitch.
Awesome. All right, Jay. You're muted
again. You know, this is awesome. I'm having so much fun. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, Roth is just like, there's only so much he can do to protect everyone in the library. If they want to yell and call all the baddies, it's just going to be, what's coming next. But this is great. 3 more sessions or so in the library. Look, but I'm Jay, also known as Neofit3 on the socials. A few things I have. I am currently on Wednesdays, every other Wednesdays, I run D&D 5e, Saltmarsh Legends, The Important for the Wayward Gamer, which is my channel. But starting in Sunday, March 5th, I will be running my Star Wars campaign, Season 2 of Shadowport Adventures, located now on Mini Terrain Domain. And we've got some great producers for that and a great cast. We have an edition, and we're running our edition of Season 2. So catch that at Sundays, and a few other things in the pot, but I'll talk about those later. But thank you so much.
Cool. Al, what do you think?
All right. I'm excited, especially finding that book. And I'll spoil it now. I took Oath of the Ancient. What that means, y'all are going to have to find out sooner. But I'm LS Writes on Twitter. Nothing really big right now, too. I'm playing a couple of non-stream games for Play Cancer Away. Also, outside non-kayfabe, very excited to have Idle Champions as our sponsor. Don't forget to redeem that code and hit me up on Twitter. Tell me what you got. Tell me your formations. I play Idle Champions a lot, too. So
sweet. And Noir, what you think?
Hey, everybody. I had a ball today. I've learned that there's another Fate Leaver in the party, you slick, quiet person, you. Also in the middle of playing a bunch of Dice Cave, so I'm very excited about that. I am having a blast here, especially now that I got to meet my own personal ghost daddy, who I want him to be my best friend. You can find me all over the internet as Dino or Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Tomorrow, you can find me behind the scenes of Rivals of Waterdeep. They're on their 12th season. And then later that night, you can find me on Vancouver by Night as we're doing a charity stream for Jasper's Game Day. I'm going to be playing Willow, your classic hot topic vampire who's got baby teeth and drinks blood out of a hydro flask. So excited for that, and I had a blast today.
All I'm gonna say is Nikki Thin Blood, get it.
I know.
That's a snack pack right there.
Mm-hmm. Nom nom the library. Nom nom
nom. And I am Covenant the Horrible Alchemist, also known as Kurt. That's me. I'm the DM for this whirlwind adventure with Moose and Squirrel. I'm having a blast. I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. I'm glad to see everybody here. You can find me streaming over on my own channel on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm either playing Apex or Fallout or something in between. I think I'm actually going to try my hand truly at streaming some Lost Ark on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. But past that, I want to thank everybody at Gilding Light. I want to thank our wonderful human behind the scenes, DC Lacer, because without him, this thing would not run. Redeem your Idle Champions codes. I'm so happy and so pumped that they're backing us for this. And Sirenscape, as always, thank you for your continued support to Gilding Light. And you can catch us all here next week at the same bat time, at the same bat channel. And I hope to see you all then again. Until then, we'll see you next time. As always, friends, be fearless.